Howdy, folks, and welcome back. I have got a returning guest. Kevin Bachelder, co-host of Tuning Into SciFi TV, one of the co-hosts of Tuning Into SciFi TV, our podcast, is back because, Kevin, you got to see The Warning in person lately, right? Welcome back, by the way.
Live. Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it coming back. Yeah, I did. I mean, just beaming ear to ear because it was all I had hoped it would be.
Now, this is the Boston show, and it was, what day was that again?
Our date was September 13th, Friday, September the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th,
Yeah, it was the day I was going to go get my car smogged in California, smog checked, and I decided not to because it's Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious, but I am lazy, so I'll look for any excuse.
Oh, okay.
But you got to tell us about this. Now, I'm rolling some images over here that the viewers of the video, and you can see later, of that you provided to me, of the venue, of you with a guest. Who would you bring? Who'd you bring?
I went with my oldest daughter.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Did she know anything about The Warning before you brought her?
She knew almost nothing. I babysit her daughter, naturally my granddaughter, who's about 8 years old. And every now and then I'll put on a Warning video and she gets a kick out of it. She enjoys it. So she was actually the one who told her mother more about it than she is. But she wanted to go in. She's someone who enjoys all kinds of music. So she said, I want to go in blind and just see what it's like. So, she hadn't seen anything.
How old's your granddaughter?
8.
Okay. That's old enough. Okay. You can start, because we've seen a lot of kids in some of the venues.
Yeah. And I showed her that, I showed her some photos of younger kids and, said, hey, maybe next year when they come back, you can come with us.
Excellent. So, okay, first of all, I'll have more questions for you later, but give us a rundown. Tell us what happened and what you experienced.
Sure. Well, like many of the other venues that they're doing, certainly on this tour, it's general admission for the shows. So while I would have liked to have gotten there earlier because there was naturally a line, I couldn't because of some work commitments. So by the time my daughter and I did get there, it was close to when they were opening the doors. So there was a bit of a line, which we expected, but it moved pretty quickly. Did a pretty good job getting folks inside, which was great. But naturally, it filled up very fast on the floor area right in front of the stage. But the way the location, Big Night Live here in Boston, it's kind of got like a tiered area. There's a section and then like a foot or so higher and then and so forth. So there's 2 or 3 of those. So we kind of found a spot just behind where they had the mixing board and stuff.
Yeah, that's a great place to be, from what I understand.
So it was a pretty good, we got right up front on that. So we didn't have anybody standing in front of us, at our height level, which was great. So we could get a pretty good view. So yeah, we probably got there 6 o'clock. And just, got excited. The line for the merch, oh my God, it wrapped around the inside of the place like twice. I mean, so that's what a lot of people were doing.
One of the pictures is looks like the merch table. Is that what it is, the line?
Yeah, it is all the different T-shirts and other stuff they had up there. So folks were excited to get some of that. And as you said, it was great because the audience itself, all ages. I mean, there were people older than me. There were kids, there were couples, a lot of couples, at different age groups, talked to some cool people who were near where we were standing. And it was, very comfortable crowd in that sense, very, engaging and able to talk to each other. So, but I loved it very much for me because, I've been looking forward to this for a while. And then to actually be there and to see the stage and all. It was exciting. As corny as it sounded, it was just exciting to see it there. So it was really, my daughter was saying, geez, I can tell you're all hyped. I'm like, yeah, I just can't wait till I hear.
And for those who don't realize, this is the first time you've seen them.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen them. I mean, I've gone to concerts for years, but been building up for this one.
You didn't even really know about The Warning a year ago, right?
No, not until you started to get me going and, all the YouTube videos and all the stuff on Instagram and knowing how good they are live. That's one of the things I was really talking to my daughter a lot while we were waiting is because she is someone, like I said, who's gone to many different types of concerts with friends and so forth. She enjoys that. And I said, no, their superpower is how amazing they are live, the energy, the crowd, how well they perform. So we were talking about that and some of the people near us, jumped in with the same thing. to say, they had seen him like a year ago at a even smaller venue when they were in Boston. And it was going to be a great show. So it was good. I mean, the opening act, Holy Wars, came on right at 7 sharp.
How were they?
They were good. I mean, I've been to enough concerts where there's opening acts where it's like, oh my God, when are they going to be done? They're just something you don't really like, or they don't match the energy or the tone of the headliner. But those folks were good. I mean, they played about a 35-minute set, nice and crisp. My daughter really enjoyed them too. She made a note of them, took a picture of some of their stuff to make sure she remembered to check it out. But they were good. But yeah, they had like a 35-minute set. Boom, they were off, and then the stage crew did the setup, and the warning came on again, 8:00 sharp, just like the plan had been. And yeah, when the lights started to go down, I mean, you could see the little hairs standing up because I was just like, oh, this is it. I am here. It is happening. And yeah, it was just flowing right through me. I mean, I wasn't as close as like you were for that special show, so I didn't have to worry about like.
Well, it means you could hear the show, unlike me.
Yeah, so it wasn't an issue there. But it's also, and I've seen this in some of the comments naturally around the fandom in different places, social media and so forth. I mean, it's the first night of the American side of the tour. So, I mean, they were doing a lot of adjustments on levels and other stuff. Certainly, but not that it sounded bad, just you can tell they're still kind of getting into a rhythm on things. But it was fantastic right from the get-go. They hit the ground running. And again, certain songs like we talked about in the previous time I was on are some of my favorites. I was just waiting for them to come up, to actually.
Which ones? Tell us.
I'm there. Well, certainly my absolute favorite, Hell You Call Dream, but that was a little later in the set. Choke was great. Money, Disciple. I mean, they were all, fairly early on. I mean, they started off with Sick, as they've been doing on a lot of the shows, which just dived right into it.
So I got to ask this question about your daughter. Oh, you mentioned some of your songs, and some of them feature Pow singing. So what is she? How does she react to that? To the drummer? Did she even notice it was the drummer singing?
Well, I had told, that's one of the things I prepped her for. I said, you're going to have some songs coming from the drummer, which is, and she was talking about, as someone who enjoys a lot of music, she said, well, it's sometimes tough for a drummer to be able to do both. And then I said, just wait till you see. Just wait till you see. So that was kind of cool when she got to experience it too, and do all that. And, it's great. It's another corny thing, but you love it when, Danny's talking about being happy to come back to Boston and, how is everybody, and asking how many people have seen him before. And, so you get your local flavor going on to it. So that was great too, to just add even a little more oomph to things. So it was just one song and the next, and they played right into them great. And they were just the three of them, as you know, when you see them live, they're just in sync the way they do it, moving around on the stage, doing everything that's going on. Just fantastic. Just it was over in a blitz to me,
No fists were thrown, right? Nobody punched anybody. I mean, just thinking of that other show that was on that night in Boston, Anyway.
Yeah, no, I heard about that after the fact. I'm like, thank God that drama was somewhere else.
That's interesting that you mentioned where you guys were sitting or standing, I guess, because I told you that they had the crew, the official Instagram for the warning, shared a live stream of that performance for a good chunk of it. I didn't catch all of it, but I caught a few songs, and I realized that it was being filmed from basically right in front of you.
Yeah. Yes. So just a little bit over. I didn't see the camera, or if I did, it didn't click. But when you shared that, and I looked and went, that's not far from where I'm standing. And yeah, they streamed like 40 minutes of the 60 or 70-minute show. So most of it was up there on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Which was just cool, because that's the thing now. And you and I have talked about this a little bit, off camera, is, with all the different videos that folks post to YouTube, I don't tend to watch a lot of them that are fan cam ones.
Neither.
But being able to watch some of them now that were from the Boston show, because, it matches. I was there.
Because you were there.
Yeah, okay, I remember that. And I get that feeling, it's like, oh, I remember when they hit this part of the song or the chorus or whatever it might have been. So it's pretty cool to feel that and see a lot of the photos now that have been showing up, fan photos. Some folks got to go to the meet and greet, before the show, which is kind of cool, and other stuff there. It's just the whole experience of it.
We talked about those VIP tickets and how fast they go and how hard they are to get.
Man, they're gone. You blink and it's gone.
Gone. And even I'm at the VIP tier in Patreon, and we technically have, I think we have, and I've only bought tickets for one show, which is the one coming up in Pomona. And I think we have some kind of code or something. But anyway, I went in, even with the people at the upper tiers who went in first, within a couple of minutes, they were gone. I mean, I saw they were available. I'm like, should I do that? And I thought, yeah, I really should. And I go to buy it, it's like sold out. I'm like, what?
Same thing. I told you, man, I hesitated for probably just a few seconds, and nope, not available.
Yeah.
So you got to go in knowing you're going to try to get it right off the bat.
Yeah.
But
Gotta have
yeah, I mean, can't wait to hear your feedback when you get to see them, because the thing that most of us know is certainly this part of the U.S. tour, these are mostly small venues, less than 2,000 people, some of them less than 1,000. So that energy, and to see it in that size crowd, man, that is special. Not that I haven't enjoyed concerts, well-known bands and other bigger places with 10, 15,000 people, but to see them in that small spot, that's what was kind of cool. Was, I don't know if it was in the Instagram video, but it was in a couple other, maybe the fan cams, is when they do the full 360 and you get to see the faces of the people, while the songs are playing, and most of them are just like me, just like now, just ear to ear. People are just so happy to be there and see them. Great stuff.
It very
is. And you could feel that energy. Like I said, you could just literally feel it in the air.
I'm looking forward to it. You mentioned that I was at the Whiskey Show, the pre-release. It's a very small venue. And it was different, I think. I'm looking forward to what it is in Pomona, because I think that's going to be more like what you just experienced. Because not only my whole problem about being too close and not having earplugs and blowing out my ears. That aside, it was a industry event with contest winners. So I don't know that it was the same mood, because the way you're describing it and the way I've seen the videos, it looks like it's going to be something special, more than I experienced at that little event at the Whiskey. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm super glad that you got the chance to see it. I'm super glad also that you got the first show on the U.S. leg of this tour. You got to share it with your daughter, which is really cool.
Yeah,
she was warned for the first time during that concert. How did she react to? Because I'm sure they did I think they did a double finale, right? Like they always do. Or I think it's Narcissista and then Evolve now.
And then Evolve, yeah.
How did she react to Pow on Evolve?
And this is another one that when we had that hour or so to kill, I'm like, and just wait. If everything's on course with the way it's been at other venues, we're going to finish with Evolve, which is one of my favorites and the fandom's one. Just wait till you hear what Pow's going to tell you to do and what she does, and you get to be a part of it. So actually, when we got to that point, I did not tell her about the whole yelling and all, but I wanted her to kind of see it. So I was looking at her a little bit when that was kind of happened, which was cool. She was just like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Yeah, and it's just neat to have someone experience it, to yourself. So, and one thing that was totally cool too, like I say, it was over in a blink, even though it was 17 songs, hour and 15 or more. But at the end, I purposely, the way that venue set up, the exits it's a location that has a bar. So like, if you want to buy beers or other drinks,
sure.
You have to get a wristband, whatever it was. But it also makes it easier when you're exiting, because there's a more open area that goes around the bar as it goes out the door. So I had as we were leaving and gone over that spot, it was great to just stand there and watch the people leaving, because the looks on the faces, and also, especially, like I say, the younger kids. Because you could tell a lot of them, this is the first time they'd been to a rock concert, or got a chance to see the Warning, and maybe they've been fans at home. And you could just see they were just walking on air. I mean, they probably didn't go to sleep for hours for the younger ones, but they were all just so happy, and in the T-shirts and had their stuff that they probably set up from home and everything. I mean, that's why I'm kind of hoping that my granddaughter by next year, if she's still into it and all, and they come back somewhere in Boston, to try to go with her.
Make it a family event. Bring more than just you and your daughter. Bring your granddaughter. Bring maybe your other daughter.
Well, my wife was initially going to come, but she had to do some stuff, take care of her dad down in Florida. So
right.
This time we couldn't, but she's my wife is a big AC/DC fan, which we know is one of the inspirations for her. So
she'll like them.
She will really like them. So it would be great to get her that too.
So speaking of merch, did you wear any merch there? I'm looking at the pictures. They're cycling through. And by the way, I'm also looking at the set list. There's a lot of good songs in there. Sharks, one of my favorites. Anyway,
yeah, that was in there. Yeah, no, I did. I wore my the Warning shirt as I would say. I don't know if I said majority, but a very high percentage of people had one on, even if they weren't, whether or not they bought. But I did. Yeah, I had mine. The Era tour, and a lot of people had that one. It was a pretty popular one there. A couple of the kids had kid sizes. So yeah, there were a lot of folks wearing for sure.
Excellent. I just have my hat, which I'll wear. I see your shirt now. Finally came up. The people who are watching the video can see that. Did you buy any merch?
I didn't buy it there. No. Again, that line was insane, and I didn't want to lose our spot since it's general admission.
Right, yeah.
And by the end, the line was even longer. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do
order online.
I'll grab something from I'll do it online somewhere. I'll get my hands on it when the time is right.
Right. Might even be cheaper. I don't know what the price differential is there. Is it cheaper there or more expensive there?
It probably depends on how long you're willing to wait. I mean, the price for most of the shirts there were like $40.
Oh, okay.
They had some sweatshirt or two-sided ones that were 50 or 60. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what might show up online. I have no idea.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The actual tour shirts and tour stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That'll eventually be online. They usually put that online probably towards the end of the tour when they have the excess inventory.
Yeah.
Excellent. The songs. You mentioned your favorite was. What was your favorite song? Was "Hell You Got Dreamin'." It was there.
Okay. Yep.
It wasn't a song. It wasn't a concert, a performance. What did your daughter feel? What was her favorites? Did you guys talk about that? Did she have any favorites?
She didn't really. I mean, she doesn't really know them, so she couldn't really pick. I mean, she did. It's funny. In the car, not on the way there because she didn't want to hear it. She wanted to go in cold. But on the ride home, again from Boston, where I live, it's close to an hour. I was playing a set of the live audio from several of their YouTube videos. And she was digging a lot of them, and Dust to Dust was one that kind of talked to her.
They didn't play that, did they?
They didn't play it though. So I said, this is one. I said, it's too bad that wasn't in the set.
It's a classic
tonight.
Of theirs, yeah.
Yeah, but she kind of liked that one. Again, she might be leaning towards POW-centric stuff. I don't know. We're going to have to wait to see.
A lot of people do. I mean, Danny is great, but when you see POW singing, it's just like, wow, that's something special. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So it was no, and like I say, having seen ahead of time some of the set lists, what they probably were going to do was good. I mean, I kind of had an idea. But it's also that fun aspect, or at least for me, is at a concert when the band plays a song, and then you got a couple seconds till they're going to go to the next one, and you try to anticipate what it might be, or when you first start to hear it, is it one and all that. So that was always kind of cool in terms of when they were going to pop in. So as soon as I started to hear the beginning riff for "Hell You Call a Dream," I had to yell it because she was next to me. But I said to my daughter, "This is mine. This is the one I love most."
that was on the live stream. I think I saw that one, and I think it ended with "Automatic Sun," but the live stream was cut off after that. But that's really really.
So cool. No, I mean, "Automatic Sun" sounded great. I mean, most of them, as you know, are the ones from the new album. So even some of the ones that I haven't listened to as much, which is great. 6 Feet Deep,
Mm-hmm.
they're in there. Like you said, Sharks, is a nice one to just different kind of sound to it than a lot of the other ones, especially during a live show.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to hear it there was fantastic. And, again, these folks are good at what they do, but, Sick is a great opener. I mean, that just gets you revved right off the get-go.
It is now. They used to open during Air Tour with Z.
Okay.
Was Z in this one?
Still a good one. Yeah, it was right after Sick.
Okay. Yeah, they're doing Sick and Z now. Now in the current tour, they're doing Sick then Z. But I like how they mixed in Error stuff on here. They had Z, Choke. I'm looking at the More, Money, Disciple, Material, and Evolve from Error. And the rest roll from Keep Me Fed. They didn't have anything. Oh, they have Dull Knives? Anything from previous albums? I'm asking you these questions because the playlist keeps going off my screen and I can't look at it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's just Error and Keep Me Fed. Interesting. A lot of people, a lot of longtime fans, kind of bemoan the fact that they've stopped playing a couple of fan favorites like Survive, Dust to Dust, Dull Knives. I'm hoping I can get. They do apparently a really cool live Dust to Dust Dull Knives combo now, where they extend one into the other. I think they extend Dull Knives into Dust to Dust. I can't remember which order it is, but one or the other. And they were doing that in the Europe tour, I think. And so I'm hoping they'll do that for Pomona because I like both of those songs quite a bit. So that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it's always, once you get a band that gets several good songs and a few albums, it's tough when you go to a live show because like you want to program it yourself in terms of what you want. You got to realize, the nature of it tends to be newer stuff. It's, the way the industry works.
They did have one older song, Narcissista, of course, which was not on any album. So but still it predates Error. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, it's great. No, I'm just, like I say, just being the giddy kid in the candy store, just thinking back on the emotion of the moment.
I'm going to be that way in a few weeks. So
yeah, I was going to say, leading up to yours. And it's been great seeing some of the other videos, the next couple of dates there, I think in Brooklyn and Baltimore, as of the time we're recording this. And it's been great catching a couple of videos online from folks obviously very excited to be there and shooting from the front couple rows or whatever. And again, they do such a great job with all of it that you can tell how much everybody's enjoying the hell out of it, which is great. I mean, it's just with all the stories.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say with all, joking about the fight on stage at the other Boston concert or some bands that just, they're phoning it in when they play. And that's not what we got here. We really just need to appreciate how special that is.
Yeah. I mean, the Warning have always, from a lot of things they've said, they are not a studio band. They are a live band. Live performance is what they live for. That's their dream. Hell, you call it a dream. That's their dream. And the studio's albums are things they do to try to put down onto a recorded form what they do live. I think it was Ali who said that in an interview. She said, I think it was Ali. She said, it's not a good bet if you don't know, just guess Ali because she doesn't talk a lot in interviews. But I think it was her who said that they really strive to record on their albums what they sound like live, as opposed to other bands that might do a studio album and then try to replicate it live, which in some respects is what they're doing with Keep Me Fed because they did do a lot of production and Keep Me Fed, and they're trying to figure out how they can reproduce it live. So they're kind of backwards to what they've been in the past, but it's still the same philosophy, which is live is it. Live is what we do. Mm-hmm. They said they got close to that with Error, which I believe, based on what I've heard from the studio version versus the live performances of all the other albums when they've done those. So, but that is cool. That is a kind of a, like you said, superpower of the Warning, and that is their focus, which is, I find it so cool and so refreshing that it's not the studio stuff. That's not their emphasis. That's not what that's not their dream. That's not recording studio albums is work. It's annoying work to them.
Part of it, yeah. It's part of what they have to do.
The live stuff, that's what they want to do.
Live stuff, and not just a couple of songs. I've known some bands that had 2 or 3 good live songs, but the rest was just kind of okay. But no, I mean each of them for whatever part in there, you just really appreciate what it sounds like live.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, any other things that we've not covered that you want to talk about during this experience?
No, I'm just, anybody, if you're at this point watching this, you're probably a big fan who's looking forward to going to see him. So it's not like I'm trying to convince anyone. I mean, it was everything I'd hoped and more in terms of the enjoyment. I might have loved to have been a little closer, but that just wasn't possible with a general admission and when I could get there. So maybe someday when they're playing a slightly bigger venue that has assigned seating, I'll do my best to get a closer seat. But it was a small venue and I was not that far away, so I'm not complaining in the least.
Yeah, most people who commented on my experience at Whiskey said the best place to see it is right behind the mixer board, because that's the person running that board is working the board to make it sound perfect where they are often. So that's a great place to be. So I think you ended up being in the best place, I hope.
Yeah. No,
sounds like it was good.
And there was really only one little hiccup. I don't remember which song it was. I haven't found it in any of the videos that are online, but one of the songs when Danny was playing, her guitar cut out literally like within the first 30 seconds of the song. So she had to kind of like unplug it, plug it back in, and kind of like, okay, we're going to restart that one. So there was just one little technical hiccup, if you will.
You got an extra
yeah,
half a
which-
song there. Cool.
It got a little extra, yeah. So there you go. But it was just kind of funny because you could tell she was trying to sing it, and all of a sudden there's no guitar backing her up.
Yeah, I mean, there's videos out there. That kind of stuff just happens. It happens live.
It happens. Hey, it happens. It was
And
no
they
big
talk
deal.
about it too. Yeah, it's no big deal to them. They and they'll sometimes even like play the wrong chords and stuff, and they look at each other and laugh.
Yep. No,
They roll with
fantastic.
it.
Like I say, they were fantastic on that. So, yeah, I'm just so pleased. I'm so excited I got to go, and thank you to you for introducing them to me. And,
My pleasure.
I think giving me the heads up when some of those dates were announced so I could make sure because this sold out. Didn't sell out right away, but it sold out. So I'm glad I was able to get the tickets, on first day of sale there. It was fantastic, too, to know I had it locked in and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm super happy for you. That's an amazing experience. Yeah, I hope you can go back when they play again in your area, like you said. Bring more people, maybe a granddaughter.
Yeah, and it was great when I'm not sure if it was Power Danny at one point when they were just talking between songs was asking, how many of you this is your first time seeing us, and it was a pretty good measure of the crowd, but there was also a pretty good amount that were already returned from previous shows too, which is great to see.
There are people who
get
follow
the
them
folks-
around. Groupies. Essentially.
I don't doubt it. If I had the money, I would have been heading to New York or somewhere else around here to catch another show or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been great.
Well, Kevin, I don't know what else to talk about, but I'm jealous, and I guess I'll know what it feels like in a few
Yeah,
weeks.
you're going to get to see it yourself in a great venue from the look of it in terms of size and location. So
Yeah, the Glass House in Pomona.
yeah, can't wait to hear what that's like. And and again, thank you to the folks who were there. Like I say, the audience itself was just so into it, and that's the thing you love too. Maybe we didn't mention is, naturally a lot of well-known songs for bands. They'll let the crowd kind of sing along with them. But I love that here at a few spots, Danny just stops and lets the crowd carry the song.
And they
it's several of them. So that's fantastic. And you can hear it, not just a few people quietly in the background, but the whole place is singing along to it. Is fantastic.
They're also really good at throwing in anthemic little bits in every song. There's like Narcisista, the na 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 stuff, and other songs where they throw in bits that is meant for the crowd to sing along as they're singing, and they do that on purpose, obviously, because like I said, live is what they focus on. They write for live. They just happen to record stuff in the studio. So excellent. I'm also going to be able to see them in a festival, outdoor festival.
I can't wait to hear you compare those. I'm very curious how that's going to differ. If it does, I mean, the experience might, but the music or the approach, or like you said, maybe the song, maybe the set list will be different.
Might be, yeah. Maybe they'll do some of the other stuff that I might not. Hopefully they'll do some new stuff. But even if they don't, even if they do the exact same set list for between Pomona and Aftershock, I'll be fine with that. I don't know how long they get to play on Aftershock. I don't think it's the full length that they play on the stage.
Yeah, festivals, it tends to be a little less. So that's why it'll be curious.
I think it's like 45 minutes to 50 minutes or something, because they like to have like 10, 15 minutes to every hour for the other band to set up or something. Mm-hmm. So it should be a smaller set, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get back and talk about that later.
Yeah. They are touring with them. They got a somewhat similar sound and good energy. She's like, "Oh, that was good. I kind of like that." I'm like, "Ooh, if you like that, you're gonna love what's coming."
I was going to mention that they, from what I understand from people who've talked about the opening acts, the Warning, obviously, they're the ones who get to select finally who opens for them. They do a really good job of picking compatible opening acts, opening acts that complement them well. Not, because you would think that some bands, I've heard horror stories where some bands pick a local band that's not that great because they don't want to be overshadowed by the opening band.
Yes,
the Warning
I've
doesn't
seen
care.
A few of those.
The Warning wants to support the smaller bands. They want, because they were the smaller opening bands,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think Holy Wars is from Jersey or some. They're like an East Coast band,
right? They have a different opening act for the West Coast. I think Pomona's a different opening.
Yeah,
act.
I was going to say. So they're at least supporting local music that way, and they were very complimentary towards the Warning, and so that was good to see. Like, but I've seen some shows where you can tell they don't even know who else is playing. So that was good. It really created a nice synergy right off the bat.
Yeah,
but they were like clockwork, man. I mean, literally 7 on the dot, boom, Holy Wars. 8 o'clock, boom, the Warning is on. I'm like, oh, these folks have got this down.
Excellent.
Unlike some shows where you sit there like, an hour of dead space between bands or something. Nope. They had it all figured out.
Not only is live their thing, and they that's the dream, is playing live, and they love it and stuff, that they also are extremely professional, extremely courteous to the fans, and everything I've heard. Again, I've been to one event, and I'm going to 2 more, but everything I hear is that everything is their dream is not to be famous. That comes with it. Their dream is to create and play music to entertain people. That's like that. It shows through. It just shows through.
And I was going to say, and they are succeeding. Rather obviously, just from the people, at that show I was at, you could tell. It's not just some folks who are like, "Oh, I got free tickets. I wonder what this is." They were all into.
There were probably some of those people at Whiskey, which is why I think it's a slightly different attitude.
Well, and that's like you said, that was done as a promotional thing, and yes, they were hardcore fans. But you're right. Until you go to a show that is designed for
where all the fans paid money to go to it, yeah.
Yes, yeah, and you get that rhythm once you get several songs in, and it's not just we're going to play X amount of songs; it's we're going to play a show. It's going to be, going to be cool.
I'm so glad that you got to experience the same thing. You mentioned earlier that I told you about the warning, and you were able to find them and watch the videos and stuff. I'm so glad you did the same thing to your daughter now. So you get to feel what it's like. It's just amazing. And then eventually your granddaughter too. Well, she's hearing the songs.
I was going to say, because I got a couple of YouTube playlists. She's at that age where she watches lots of stuff on YouTube. So I'll say, well, let's mix it up. Put on some Morning in Between, and she's glad to play it. So
cool.
I think that'll be a strong possibility. 2025.
Excellent. More fans is great. Okay, Kevin, I'll let you go.
All right.
Sorry for keeping you so long.
No, this was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for having me on.
We got to do it again.
Yeah.
We should really, next time they release a song, we should try to do a blind reaction together.
Yeah.
If that's something you would be
if we start to see that there's something coming, let's do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll pencil that in. All right, man. I'll see you later. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody who's seeing this and is staying to the end can leave some comments, maybe questions to Kevin that I missed, because I'm sure I missed some. Maybe share your experiences. Were you in Boston? Did you see Kevin? If you did, next time he goes, you can say hi to him, because you'll know who he is.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for being here, Kevin. Thanks to everybody for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.